Acquisition of fixed asset is an example of capital expenditure. Maintenance of fixed asset is an example of revenue expenditure. Construction of building is an example of capital expenditure. An expenditure that is charged to profit and loss account for over a period of 3 to 5 years is an example of deferred revenue expenditure. A receipt is a revenue receipt because it relates to the routine activity of the business. A loss is related to capital loss because it arises due to abnormal reasons. Outstanding expenditure on wages and salaries is an example of revenue expenditure. Amount paid for acquiring goodwill is an example of capital expenditure. Incorrect classification of capital expenditure as revenue expenditure would result in reduction in profits and increase in losses. A trial balance is a list of balances. In trial balances, cash in hand will indicate debit balance. Stationery worth ₹50 used by the proprietor debited to office expenses account. It is an error of principle. Wrong balancing of an account is error of commission. Goods returned by the customer worth ₹700 taken to stock but no entry passed. This is error of omission. Bills receivable is a part of ledger and journal. Bills receivable book is a subsidiary book. Profit and loss account shows the profit or loss earned by the business. A pays ₹300 to B on maturity of the bill. The bill had accepted. The amount will be credited in cash account and debited to bills payable account, which does not form part of the financial expenses. Legal expenses is the answer. Which of the following should not form part of profit and loss account? Carriage inward, because carriage inward is a direct expenses. The total of returns book has been added ₹90 short. The debit side of the trial balance presently shows a total of ₹2,90,000. How much should it actually be? The answer is ₹2,180,000. That is the answer. Sale of ₹300 to A omitted to be recorded in the books. If the existing balance of debit side of the trial balance is 20,000, what will be the total of credit side? The total of credit side is 19,700. Amount received from A but wrongly credited to B. The journal rectification entry is debit B and credit A. Compensating errors will cause difference in trial balance. Yes, definitely. False. Compensating error will cause difference in trial balance. No, it is a false. Only double-sided errors are rectified through suspense account. It is false. The main objective of providing depreciation is 1. To calculate profits, to show the financial position of the balance sheet, to reduce tax burden, to provide funds for replacement of fixed assets. Under which of the following kinds of business concept it is assumed that organization will last for a long time? Answer: accounting entity, going concern, money measuring, accounting period, none of the above. Answer is going concern entity. Similarly, distinction between an expenditure whose benefit will be for a long period and whose benefit for a short period of say up to 1 year is made under going concern entity. An inkstand has been purchased by a firm for a nominal amount that is to last for 4 years. It should not be classified as a fixed asset under which of the following accounting principles? The accounting principle is materiality principle. The business transactions are recorded date-wise to create proper record for all transactions. This is part of historical record concept. Anticipate no profits and provide for all possible losses. This is essence of which the following accounting principle. That principle is conservatism principle. Recording of financial transactions on the basis of set of rules and criteria is known as accounting standard. Who frames the accounting standards? Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Under which section Companies Act compliances with the accounting standard? Under section 217, under subsection 2AA. Accounting standard AAS1 relates to disclosure of accounting policies. Deferred tax according to accounting standard 22 is tax effect of timing difference. What is AS 22? AS 22 explains current tax. And what is the accounting standard 25? That is interim period means. What is the interim period means? Period that is not a complete financial period. In which accounting standard the interim financial reporting is mentioned? Accounting standard 25. Then, what does the word bookkeeping denote? Bookkeeping of accounts, maintaining of stocks, art of recording, any of the above which is given. What does means bookkeeping? Bookkeeping is an systematic record of rendering business transactions in a set of books. That is the answer. Salary account is an example of nominal account. Capital account is an example of personal account.